Ya sabes, el mundo se compone muy rápido. La banca en su conjunto ha ganado a tasas que están muy por encima de lo que los bancos comerciales ganan, entre un 12% y un 16% o así sobre los activos tangibles netos. Es un buen negocio, es un negocio fantástico en comparación con los bonos a largo plazo, ¿sabías eso? Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway vio un asombroso crecimiento anual del 20,3%
Did you know that Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway saw a staggering 20.3% annual growth from 1965 to 2020, compared to the S&P 500's 10.2%? Or that Buffett turned a failing textile mill into a $700 billion company? These incredible numbers are more than just numbers. They show you how smart Buffett is as an investor. Today, we're going to tap into that wisdom. We'll guide you through a Buffett-inspired strategy to potentially grow your investment from $10,000 to $100,000 in a few years. Let's look at how disciplined investment can make something that seems almost impossible possible over time.
Invertir no es realmente complicado. Quiero decir, el marco básico para ello es simple. Luego tienes que trabajar. Así que hablemos primero del aspecto fundamental de la estrategia de inversión de Warren Buffett, ahorrar e
saving
invertir
and investing wisely.
sabiamente.
Buffett, known for his smart financial habits, emphasizes the importance of saving as the first step towards successful investing. He famously advises, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. If you start with $10,000 and manage to save an additional $500 every month, in 1 year, you will have saved $6,000. Over 3 years, that's an additional $18,000, bringing your total to $28,000 without accounting for any investment returns. Now, let's apply Buffett's principle of investing to these savings. If you invest this amount in a diversified portfolio with an average annual return of 7%, which is a realistic figure based on historical market performance, your investment will grow each year. For example, your $10,000 investment goes up to $10,700 in the first year. Adding your yearly savings, you start the second year with $16,700. By continuously saving and investing, your initial $10,000 can grow substantially over a few years. Buffett's approach to saving and investing is not just about accumulating wealth, it's about financial discipline. He advocates for living within your means and investing the surplus. Sticking to this plan for saving and investing is important for gaining big returns on your money. Additionally, Buffett stresses the importance of being informed about your investments. It's not enough to just save and invest. Understanding where and how to invest is essential. This means doing your research, whether it's in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, and making informed decisions. After establishing a solid foundation through savings, the next step in Warren Buffett's strategy is intelligent and informed investing. It's all about logical thinking. This is what Buffett says about following logic.
Después de establecer una base sólida a través del ahorro, el siguiente paso en la estrategia de Warren Buffett es la inversión inteligente e informada.
Buffett's success is largely attributed to his ability to pick stocks that offer not just good returns, but phenomenal growth over time. Let's break down how you can apply this to your investment journey. Buffett believes in studying and understanding the market for a long time. He looks for companies with a competitive advantage, strong leadership, and a track record of profitability. For example, when Buffett started buying shares of Coca-Cola in 1988, he focused on its brand strength and global market presence. Today, Coca-Cola is a prime example of a successful long-term investment, with its stock price increasing multiple times over the decades. To apply Buffett's principles, start by researching companies that show potential for long-term growth. Look at their financial health, market position, and growth prospects. For example, if you invest in a company with a stock price of $50 and an annual growth rate of 10%, your investment will grow year over year. If you invest $5,000 in such a stock, in the first year, your investment would grow to $5,500.
a lo largo de las
Buffett's investment
décadas.
strategy
Para
heavily
aplicar los
relies on
principios
the
de
power
Buffett,
of compound interest.
comienza investigando
By
empresas que
reinvesting the
muestren
returns of his
potencial de
investments,
crecimiento
he was able
a
to
largo
significantly
plazo.
increase the
Examina
value
su
of his
salud
initial
financiera,
capital. For
posición en el
example,
mercado
if your
y
$5,000
perspectivas de
investment
crecimiento.
grows at
Por ejemplo,
$10,000 annually,
si inviertes
and
en
you
una empresa
reinvest the
con un precio
returns,
de acción
in
de
10 years,
$50
your
y una
investment will be
tasa de
worth over
crecimiento anual del 10%, tu
$12,968.
inversión
This
crecerá
shows the power of
año tras
compound
año.
interest over time.
Si inviertes $5,000 en una acción de este tipo en el primer año, tu inversión crecería a $5,500. La estrategia de inversión de Buffett se basa en gran medida en el poder del interés compuesto.
Buffett may be known for his significant bets on certain companies,
Pudo
but
aumentar
he also understands the
significativamente
value of
el valor de su
diversification.
capital inicial.
By
Por
spreading your
ejemplo,
investments across
si tu
different
inversión de
sectors and asset
$5,000
classes,
crece en
you reduce
$10,000
risk and ensure a
anualmente
more stable
y
return on
reinviertes
your
los
investments.
rendimientos durante 10
For
años,
example, if
tu
you
inversión
diversify
valdría
your
más de
portfolio across tech stocks, consumer goods,
1968.
and healthcare,
Esto
you're
muestra
not
el poder
overly
del interés
reliant on
compuesto con
one
el
sector's
tiempo.
performance.
La lección de seguir la
Buffett's
lógica
approach to
en lugar de la
investing also
emoción
involves
es algo
careful
que es
risk
obvio
management.
y algunas
He
personas
avoids
tienen
investments that
grandes
he doesn't
problemas con
understand
eso y
and
otras
focuses on
menos.
maintaining a balanced
A Buffett
portfolio.
se le conoce
This
por
means
sus
not
grandes
putting all of your
apuestas
eggs in
en
one
ciertas
basket
empresas,
and being prepared
pero
to
también
adjust your
entiende el
investments
valor de
based
la
on market
diversificación.
changes.
Al
Now that you
distribuir
have
tus inversiones en
$28,000
diferentes
saved up
sectores
and
y
want your
clases de
investment to grow
activos,
significantly over
reduces
the
el
next 3
riesgo
years,
y
let's
garantizas
do
un
some
retorno
math
más
to see how
estable de
it can
tus
do that.
inversiones.
We will take
Por
this
ejemplo,
path.
si
Assuming a
diversificas tu
10%
cartera
average
entre
growth
acciones
rate in a
tecnológicas,
diversified portfolio
bienes de consumo
and
y
adding
cuidado de
savings
la salud,
annually.
no
Here's how it
dependerás
unfolds.
excesivamente
In the first
del
year, you
rendimiento de
begin
un
with
sector en particular.
$28,000.
El
With a
enfoque de
10%
Buffett
growth
para
rate,
invertir
this investment
también
grows
implica
by
una gestión cuidadosa del
$2,800,
riesgo.
bringing your end-of-year
Evita las
total to
inversiones que no entiende y se
$30,800.
enfoca en
It's a
mantener una
solid start,
cartera equilibrada.
showing the initial fruits
Esto
of your
significa
investment strategy.
no poner todos tus
Moving into
huevos
the
en una
second
sola
year,
canasta
you're not
y
just
estar
relying on the
preparado para
previous year's
ajustar tus
growth.
inversiones
You add an
según los
additional
cambios del mercado.
$6,000 from your savings to the
Ahora
pot,
que tienes
increasing your
$28,000
investment to
ahorrados y quieres que tu inversión
$36,800.
crezca
Applying the same
significativamente en los
10% annual
próximos
growth
3
rate,
años,
you gain
hagamos
another
algo de matemáticas para ver cómo
$3,680
puedes
by the
hacerlo.
year's end.
Tomaremos
Now your
este camino
investment stands at
asumiendo una tasa de crecimiento promedio
$40,480.
del
You're gaining
10%
momentum,
en una
seeing your
cartera
strategy start to
diversificada
pay off more
y agregando
significantly.
ahorros
As you enter the
anualmente.
third year, your
Así
strategy
es como se
continues.
desarrolla.
You
En el
add
primer
another
año comienzas con
$6,000, boosting your total
$28,000.
investment to
Con una tasa de crecimiento del 10%,
$46,480.
esta
With the
inversión
market
crece
still
en
favoring you at a 10%
$2,800,
growth rate,
lo que eleva tu
you
total
earn
a
$4,648 this
$30,800.
year.
Es un buen
By the end of the
comienzo que
third
muestra
year,
los primeros
your
frutos de tu
total
estrategia
investment
de
will have grown
inversión.
to
Al pasar al segundo año, no solo te
$51,128.
basas en el
It's a
crecimiento del año
substantial increase
anterior,
from your initial
sino que agregas
$28,000,
$6,000
showcasing the
adicionales
power of
de tus
consistent
ahorros al
saving
montón,
and investing.
aumentando tu
But let's
inversión
not
a
forget that the market can be unpredictable. If the market
$36,800.
dips and your growth rate
Aplicando la
falls to
misma
say
tasa de crecimiento
5%,
anual del
your returns would
10%,
be lower.
ganas otros
Conversely, in a booming market, you might see
$3,680
higher
al final
returns.
del año.
This process,
Ahora
it's
tu
not just
inversión
about numbers.
está en
It's about adapting to market changes
$40,480.
and understanding the
Repitiendo este proceso
importance of
año tras año,
diversification
tu
to
inversión
balance out
inicial
all
de
these fluctuations.
puede crecer
And we must account for
sustancialmente en
inflation.
pocos años.
Your nominal returns
El
might
enfoque
look
de
great on
Buffett
paper,
para ahorrar
but
e
the real
invertir
value
no
depends
se
on the
trata solo de
inflation rate.
acumular riqueza,
To know how
se
much
trata
your
de
investment has
disciplina
grown,
financiera.
you need to look at the real
Aboga
rate of
por vivir
return.
dentro de tus
Intelligent
posibilidades
and informed
e
investing,
invertir el
following
excedente.
Buffett's principles, it's
Seguir
more
este
about
plan
just
de
picking
ahorro e
stocks.
inversión es
It's
importante
about
para obtener
understanding the
grandes
market,
retornos de tu
managing
dinero.
risks, and being
Además,
patient with your
Buffett
investments.
enfatiza la importancia
By
de estar
applying these
informado
principles,
sobre tus
you could
inversiones.
significantly increase your
No es
chances of
suficiente
turning
con
your
solo ahorrar
$10,000
e
into
invertir.
$100,000.
Entender dónde y cómo invertir
Now let's talk about
es
the third
esencial.
important part of Warren
Esto
Buffett's plan
significa
to turn
investigar,
$10,000
ya sea
into
en acciones,
$100,000,
bonos o fondos mutuos,
using the power
y
of
tomar
compound
decisiones
interest.
informadas.
Buffett
Después de
famously
establecer
said,
una base
"My
sólida
wealth
a
has
través
come
del
from a
ahorro,
combination
el
of
siguiente
living in
paso en la
America,
estrategia
some
de
lucky
Warren
genes,
Buffett
and
es
compound
la
interest."
inversión
This
inteligente
step is
e
all about
informada.
understanding and
Se
utilizing
trata
this
de pensar
financial phenomenon
lógicamente.
to its fullest potential.
Esto es lo que Buffett
Compound
dice
interest
sobre
is
seguir
essentially
la lógica.
interest on interest.
Realmente
It
solo
is the
tenías
result
que
of
tener algo así
reinvesting your
como el
earnings
coraje
rather
de
than
tus
paying them out,
convicciones.
so that in the
Tenías que
next
tener la
period, you
disposición
earn
de hacer
interest on
algo
both your initial
cuando todos
principal
los
and the
demás
accumulated
estaban
interest from previous
petrificados.
periods. This can lead to exponential growth in your investment over time. Let's say you followed the first two steps and you have an investment portfolio that is now worth $51,128. If you continue to reinvest your earnings and achieve a consistent 10% annual return, your investment will not just grow by a fixed amount each year, but by increasing amounts. In the fourth year, your $51,128 investment would grow by 10%, adding approximately $5,113 to your portfolio, bringing the total to around $56,241. The following year, that 10% growth applies to the new total, and so on. This compounding effect accelerates the growth of your investment significantly over time. Buffett's approach has always been to reinvest his returns. He looks for investments that not only offer good returns, but also the opportunity to reinvest those returns to generate more wealth. This could mean reinvesting dividends from stocks, profits from business ventures, or interest from bonds. Continuing with our example, if you keep reinvesting your returns at a 10% growth rate, your investment would continue to grow exponentially. By the end of the fifth year, your portfolio could be worth approximately $62,165, and in the sixth year, it could grow to around $68,272. However, it's important to remember that these calculations assume a consistent return rate, which might not always be the case in the real-world market conditions. Diversification, as discussed earlier, can help manage this risk. As we move into the fourth step in Warren Buffett's approach to growing wealth, we focus on the crucial concept of diversification. Buffett himself, despite often being associated with big bets on companies like Coca-Cola and Apple, has always stressed the importance of not putting all of your eggs in one basket. Diversification is about spreading your investments across various assets to reduce risk and ensure more stable returns. Let's say your investment portfolio, now worth around $68,272 after applying the first three steps, includes stocks, bonds, and perhaps some real estate or mutual funds. The idea is to have a mix of these assets because they usually don't move in the same direction. When one asset class is down, another may be up, balancing your portfolio's performance. For example, if the stock market faces a downturn, your bonds or real estate investments might still hold their ground or even appreciate, cushioning the impact of your portfolio. This balance is what helps maintain steady growth over time, despite the market's ups and downs. Continuing with our example, if you diversify your $68,272 investment across different asset classes, let's assume an overall average growth rate of 8%, considering some assets might grow more than others. By the end of the seventh year, your investment could potentially grow to around $93,000, factoring in the added stability and reduced risk that come with diversification. The fifth and final step to getting your $10,000 investment to $100,000 in a few years is probably the most important. Be patient and keep an eye on the long term.
Lo que eleva tu total a $30,800. Es un buen comienzo que muestra los primeros frutos de tu estrategia de inversión. Al pasar al segundo año, no solo te basas en el crecimiento del año anterior, sino que agregas $6,000 adicionales de tus ahorros al montón, aumentando tu inversión a $36,800. Aplicando la misma tasa de crecimiento anual del 10%, ganas otros $3,680 al final del año. Ahora tu inversión está en $40,480.
Buffett famously said, the stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. This step is about understanding the value of time and investment.
No olvides dejar tu like si te ha gustado el video. Además, puedes dejarnos en los comentarios alguna duda que te haya surgido, la cual intentaremos resolver. También puedes suscribirte para aprender más acerca de las finanzas.